Good day, Tamers. As you're probably well aware by now, as it's been at least 13 hours or so since it was announced, it's been very busy today, we got a new limited and ban list coming. Now, it seems like it was only yesterday we got the last one. So, to be fair, a little bit surprised it was so early. This is going to be Worlds Banlist and limited list. And if you've been paying attention to what's going on in Japan right now, Purple's doing very well. A little bit too well. A little bit too consistently good. And not just Purple, but also Apocalypse Mon. Now you might be thinking, oh yeah, whatever, there's always like one really good deck. No, there's one deck that just basically makes all of the decks unplayable. Now, Anubis and Guru kind of enjoy having their stuff put in the trash because they're purple cards, and purple cards like to synergize things with the trash. So that makes things more interesting for them. But at the same time, it's not really doing what you want it to do. Having a meta where only one colour is really playing is really bad. For instance, with us over here in English, a lot of the time it's blue. Blue seems to be the deck that just do a lot of things. Getting memory, drawing cards, stun locking, bouncing, effects that are very powerful, evade, blocker. These decks are very powerful and very potent in the meta, as you've been seeing lately. EU winner was a blue deck. I would presume, though, for NA that they are playing the EX5 format, which means they'll be playing a purple format instead. Now, what I expect to see during this period of time will be hits to Guru, hits to Anubis to some degree, and hits to, if not a banning of Apocalypse. Now, people have said maybe we can do something like card Vanguard, where they actually go, you can only play this card in a certain deck. You can't play this card in an archetype. So you can only play Apocalypse in a Dark Master specific deck. You can't just like jam in all your good purple cards and just go, yeah, whatever, throw it down. But I don't think that's how Digimon should work. I don't think that's how we want Digimon to work in the future, because that way things like Gurumon and Wargreymon decks just get better, because the toolbox always gets more full over time, to the point where they're the only decks that really get to play the game. But it could be a case of that Apocalypse gets put to 1, which would be very, very unusual for a secret card to be put down to 1 already. The issue is, knowing this so early would also mean that people are going to be very justifiably upset again, as with BT10 and with BT 1.5. It's not the first time we've had ban lists early to kind of push down decks that haven't even arrived in our marketplace yet. Now, from what I can remember about BT15, besides kind of support for Guru Engine and Apocalypse just being an absolute douche nozzle, there's not a lot in that set that's really going to be head and shoulders above everything else. The only thing that happens, though, is that decks that have been played in Japan that weren't doing very well are going to start doing much better. It also gives people time to build decks and play test and proxy what they can. Now, I do loosely say proxy quite a lot in this channel, to be fair. I am against it as a rule for myself. I don't like the idea of playing the game for free, which probably seems really weird from someone that wants to make content. But I always feel like, hey, I need to pay my dues. I have to like at least buy the cards. For instance, I brought Ripple early because I like the deck. I brought the Charger super early. And then when we saw Dino Beam on, I was like, all right, so I'm just going to grab the last few things I needed. And I'm going to basically have a blinged out deck for very cheap, because the card's currently very cheap. If in BT16 Ripple becomes very good, there's a good chance that, I've profited off of my own undoings of not proxying things. But I look forward to playing the deck. But, that being said, besides purple things getting hit, there's not much out there. Callboy doesn't need to be taken care of anymore. X-Antibody decks just don't really seem to be a thing in the meta anymore. It could be different once we get to BT16 with the new Dora line, because that line is crazy good. I can see that just basically becoming the new Callboy degenerate stuff. People are asking for you to be put down, and it's like, that's cool and all, but some decks, you can tell some decks were specifically built to play Callboy. Analog Youth, such as Davers, such as like purple engines that need to discard. Taking away from these decks is all well and good, Except the issue is when you take it away too early, you make one deck basically either unplayable or less likely to be played in the future. Davers need that discard engine to kind of run what they want to do with their option cards. Also, having a white Tamer on the field does help with the option card stuff as well. And if you take Davers out of the situation, you're basically making EX5 more of a purple only thing again. Which sucks because the Leomon stuff is pretty good, but it's not good enough. Fortitude is pretty good, but no one cares about Fortitude when you're punching your opponent in the face and they can't stop you. So yeah, that's where we are, I think. Like, what's getting hit? Purple cards are getting hit. Either Ignite or Merva is getting hit. They could be getting rid of some of the retaliation blockers. They could be getting rid of some of the Guru cards. A lot of people saying about Guru X hitting the ban list early, like Greymon X antibody did from BT12. Personally speaking, I understand why, but if the cards aren't going into the trash because there's not a Apocalypse on the other side of the field throwing things into the trash, it's not always going to be a super common, but you obviously have a really good discard engine in that deck. So it does kind of go around sometimes, making it a little less easy, a little less harder. But like, looking at other things going on here now, a lot of people are complaining, like, you know, Marcus needs to be put down to 1 still, but like Shine Greymon didn't do very well during EU finals. I don't think there was actually a Shine Greymon in Top Cut. I can have a look if I really want to. I've got the information within reach because you know I do things in the background. I cast. You know, I could see hits coming again for Mirage because obviously Mirage has just been constantly good and it's still good, as you can see. Vaccine / Yellow Hybrid could have more hits to it because obviously it's so good and efficient. But I think things like that aren't really going to be touched. I do think it's going to be more things that's going to be put in place for Worlds. They don't want to just see, you know, 16 players playing Apocalypsemon. They don't want to see 16 players playing Melga X V2. They don't want to see 16 players playing Anubismon. Because if you remember last Worlds, there was like 9 people playing like Blue Hybrid or something. It was terrible. It was like absolutely awful. And I don't want to see another like thing of that. And to be fair, Bandai doesn't do a very good job of actually making it entertaining for non-Japanese people, from what I can remember. I can't remember what stream was it. Was it last year? One of the streams we watched was terrible. It was just absolutely boring and horrendous. But that is Bandai's choices after all. So, hope you guys have been well. This is my take on the future ban list. Purple's getting just put into the ground again because purple can't have nice things. Apocalypsemon needs to be taken out early. It's going to be annoying for us, obviously, over here. But at the same time, we are receiving LB1 stuff within our BT15, so maybe it's not the end all be all. Maybe BT15 LB1 stuff or LM1 stuff is going to be the cure, the panacea to the situation that is Apocalypsemon. But we will find out Monday what we're getting, and you'll know that I'll be upset either way. But please don't ban Analog Youth. I need him. I need him to play Davers. So yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Mwah! Peace out and goodbye. And ban lists are coming.